Greetings again from the lowland tropical forests of the South Province of the island of New Caledonia. We're hiking up, got to go up about 4,000 feet in the next couple hours. It is hot and humid as balls. It does feel like a sauna, or perhaps South Florida. It's not a very pleasant feeling. I'm sweating my ass off. Hopefully we don't die, you know. All those trips to the 24-hour fitness down there on Webster, you know, using a Stairmaster. I think they done me good, you know. I seen a bag lady in there once wearing full winter coat regalia, even though it was 60 degrees outside. She was on a Stairmaster too. But felt pretty good, you know. See that at least she's trying. Anyway, we're going up a mountain called Mount Moo. And that name has nothing to do with the fact that moo means soft in French. It has to do with the fact that some jackoff thought it'd be a good idea to start an ice cream business up top. Which reminds me of another story once. You know the Cold Stone Creameries, right? It's a chain, an ice cream chain. Tend to see them in depressing strip malls in the United States. Well, I went in one once just to use the bathroom, and I was instantly greeted by an armada of phalanx of like 4 or 5 blonde, bubbling, wholesome Aryan ladies. It was very terrifying. Is that a ficus? That does appear to be. It was very terrifying and made me instantly feel for my safety, you know. So I just went to the bathroom, took a piss, and then got out of there, you know. Very, very sketchy situation. Anyway, we're going to go up, see what we can find. I'm sweating like hell. You know, I feel like a rag that's been stuffed in the ass crack of a 400-pound man while he sits in a pew in a Georgia church. So we're going to keep going, see what else we got up here. Whole mountain is ultramafic rock. Very interesting geology. Again, toxic to most plants, but a lot of plants have adapted to grow only on it. That's called the maquis, that type of plant community growing on the ultramafics. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. Let's go see what we can find. Nice grevillea. You got all this gymnostoma, of course. It's a dominant plant here. And then here's the grevillea. Proteaceae, you know. You see one grevillea, you know what the rest will look like. Of course, these flowers are not mature yet, and these are. Boy, I am really just bathed in a cascade of sweat. And there's quite a few mosquitoes out here, too. And I'm starting to itch. It doesn't feel too nice. But we're going to see some good stuff up there. So, here we go. Up to the ice cream shop. I'm already thinking about what flavors I want, and we're gonna rip it. Okay, here we go. Straight's already changing. You got Cyatopsis, Ericaceae, one of the most beautiful ericas here, but you normally see it on the ultramafics. You can see the soil here is turning red already. You got some maybe that's peridotite or gabbro. Whole suite of ultramafic rocks here, just very iron rich, toxic to most plants. You can see the due to the toxicity of the soil, well, the low nutrient availability, I guess more so, a lot of that thick forest is going away, you know, which means the mosquitoes will probably go away, but then, of course, the sun will come out. So, you know, it's kind of a trade-off. Is that another Coniferaceae? There's so many of them out there. Look, there you go. There's the flowers. The Ericaceous flowers on it, the Cyatopsis. I love this plant. Absolutely stunning plant. Okay, I know. You know what? The mosquitoes have not gone away. Jesus Christ. Okay, only 2,800 more feet to go. Here we go. Oh, here's a nice one. Rubiaceae coffee family. This is Normandia. Very exerted stamens right there. You know, you see those little brown anthers at the end of the filaments. Yeah, very beautiful leaves too. So, oh yeah, it's getting hot. You know, so, Dracophyllum, another Ericaceae, blueberry family. So, you know, we knew this was going to suck, but we got to come up here. Because this guy's getting his PhD. We got to go up, monitor these trees. He's got test sites up here, you know. So, have you ever walked into something that you know is going to suck, but you're going to do it anyway? Sometimes you just got to, you know. It's okay. What are you going to do? You're going to cry? You know, you'll be fine. You know, as long as you don't die, you'll be fine. Anyway, you can see the forest is tapered off. We're now on the harsh ultramafics. Very open and exposed, very low growing, and just the most beautiful view though once you turn around. The mosquitoes have almost stopped biting me. Well, maybe not, I don't know. Those anthocyanin colors on that new foliage right there, that's to protect against the sun, you know, for when the tissue's still soft, you know, before it hardens up. So this is a species of Styphelia, and that new red color, like I said, is the anthocyanin and other pigments, basically plant melanin to protect the new softer foliage from exposure to the sun. This is in the blueberry family again, Ericaceae, related to that Dracophyllum and its Cyatopsis I just showed you. But no flowers. Oh yeah, you got some flowers on there. See? Just coming out there, axile. They kind of subtend the new growth. Very beautiful when it's going off though. Oh shit, what's this? Okay, alright, this one's pretty nice. And it's in full flower right there. Okay, what family you think that is? Huh? What family? You think milkweed family? Apocynaceae? You'd be correct. This is Parsonsia. Beautiful flowers. And it looks like it's a bush, but you got to be careful because you can actually see it's a vine right there. You know, just twirling around. This Styphelia, half of which is dead. You know, there's a mosquito biting me on my ass right now. I can feel it. And the rag I'm using to wipe my face smells like rotting brie cheese and feet. Not sure what happened there. Maybe it's just all the sweat. Anyway, hopefully you got some good imagery. Maybe you're eating. Anyway, let's get some close-up money shots of those flowers. Oh, yeah. Just beautiful. Look at it. Look at the color on it. Okay, and again, we got opposite foliage, you know. Just like many members of the milkweed family, you get those opposite foliage. Rubiaceae does that too, the coffee family. You know, leaves opposite each other as opposed to alternate. And then, of course, if you were to rip one of these up, I think it's even got the latex in there. Oh, yeah, okay, there you go. Cunonia macrophylla. Okay, and the thing you want to know about Cunonia, and almost all of Cunoniaceae, is it's got these big-ass stipules. You see that? Those are the stipules, okay? So they're just, you know, they're basically subtended branches, and then out of this opens up like a little clam, and you get then, you know, next round of growth. There's the fruits maturing, okay? Little capsules. Almost look myrtaceous, but they're not. Okay, and the flowers when they're going off are pretty interesting too. Got a lot of stamens in there. And right there you got the Araucariaceae. It's an endemic genus. The New Caledonia, Araucariaceae. And there you have just, you know, the pitfalls of hiking on a easily eroding, highly weathered ultramafics. Beautiful red on that Styphelia too. You know, you might be asking how I pick up on this stuff. I mean, the answer is you just got to go outside. You got to ask a lot of questions. You know, what the fuck am I looking at? You know, it's really all it is. You just find out. You know, place everything in a context in your mind. You know what you should be doing with all facets of life. You know, just gonna stay at home and play with your prick, I guess. I don't know. What do you do? Oh, these ferns. These are the ones they were saying when they dry out, they just kind of cut your legs. They should be nice. Okay, another protea, and I think there's only one species in this genus. Might be wrong about that though. But look at those leathery leaves. This is Bopreopsis. Don't look like your typical protea flowers, you know. But I'm sure if you got up in there and gave them a rectal exam, you'd see the four tepals and pollen presenter and whatnot. Actually, don't quote me on it, because I don't know. But if anything does give it away as a protea, if you don't have those flowers, that sclerophilous foliage, this may not be the best example. Further down, you want the older stuff. You know, just feels leather, very coriaceous. Okay, so see, it's not all ultramathics. This is actually limestone. It's got the red color from the leaching of the ultramathic rocks above it, but you know, you got some just good old calcium carbonate right there. I want to show you this guy though. It's a fern with a pan-tropical distribution. Fucking mosquitoes are just the absolute hell. Look at those little leaflets on either side of the rachis right there. See that? Like little pods, two little beady pods. But you know, I guess you could even get this in Florida a little bit. You know, you get a lot of stuff with a pan-tropical distribution. Just means it goes all the way around the equator. Oh, there's another Scaevola, Gondwanan. But they were telling me that this stuff, basically cuts the shit out of your legs. And it's quite ubiquitous here, forming an abundant ground cover in the green photosynthetic mass covering this. The fucking mosquitoes are absolutely torturing me. Okay, but other than that, I'm feeling pretty good. Sinantha, another ubiquitous Myrtaceae, just kind of blends in. Okay, but obviously a Myrtaceae, got those like almost Melaleuca looking flowers, but it just, it's really easy to, I don't want to be mean, but it's really easy to just not pay attention to a lot of the Myrtaceae. I hate to say that. Oh fuck, there's a mosquito right there. Okay, I gotta put the camera down. I'm getting eaten alive. Oh, the mosquitoes are fucking terrible. This guy needs to do his job. That's a massive spider right there. If I could just get the thing to focus. Yeah, I'm just being attacked. You got a little guy right there too. Come on, do your job. These mosquitoes are terrible. Guy's got to be almost 4 inches across with the legs. I guess it's a she. Oh, fucking dying. Oh boy, we got what appears to be an apocynaceous bastard. Opposite leaves, follicles. Now watch me eat my words on that. But it certainly does appear to be in a milkweed family. Apocynaceae. Perhaps not the milkweed subfamily, Asclepiadordae, but certainly the milkweed family. You got those nice pods, but really the opposite leaves. Let's see if it bleeds latex. I can't even break it. See if it bleeds latex. Oh yeah, maybe just the slightest hint of latex. I just hear this high-pitched whining. It's dozens of mosquitoes all over me. Jesus. Oh yeah, so the mosquitoes are doing all they can to make it as miserable as possible. You can see we're up about 2,000 feet now, and you just got your first couple of glimpses of Araucaria. Looks like probably Araucaria laubenfelsii, as well as Araucaria humboldtensis. Basically just a lineage of conifers that dates back about 300 million years. It'd be interesting to see it up close. Here we go. Yeah, there you go, pancheri. Coniferaceae, as you can tell from those little ball-like, I guess those are flowers that aren't open yet. But Coniferaceae, these can, the same thing, you can get, 10 feet of branch, nothing on them, and then, at the end they got all their foliage still. All right, moving on. Okay, you got the pancheri still right there. Okay, but you see this? Pseudo-Lycopodium densum. Okay, relatives of one of the most ancient lineages of photosynthetic land plants. The lycopods. You like lycopods? Do you know anything about them? Huh? You ever tried to lock yourself in a Garfield Park Conservatory fern room after dark? And then the janitor catches you, almost scare him half to death, and then he screams at you as you're running out. Anyway, this is a pretty interesting plant right here. Of course, reproduces by spore. Looks like a conifer, feels like plastic. And see if we can get some with some of the sporangia. Yeah, there you go. There's a little sporangia up top. And, lycopods are pretty interesting. You don't normally see them that big, unless you're in the tropics. Selaginella, of course, is, I guess, the closest related thing to them. The resurrection ferns. The closest related thing to them that's not directly a lycopod. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I think it's order, same class. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. Nice little scales. These fucking mosquitoes are killing me, but we're almost at the top. So here you got xanthostomon, post-flower, post-anthesis, okay? Just the woody capsules going off. These mosquitoes are biting through my pants onto my ass. They're voracious, They're like fucking telemarketers, but more painful and obnoxious. Anyway, here's a really wonderful one. Here's a real stunner. Species of Hymenophyllum, which if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, you're not going to be familiar with. The Lineages is the family. They're all over Australia. I've just never seen one that's such a monster. Normally they're smaller shrubs, maybe a small tree. This is rather large. You can see it's almost a foot diameter, down there, maybe a foot or two off the ground. Not breast height, but a foot diameter. Okay, dozens of stamens in there. And I think this is Hymenophyllum de planchii. You know, so I think he was a French botanist. I don't know. You know, I don't know who he was. I don't really care. I don't think plants should be named after people. But anyway, there's the open buds. Leaves are waxy. You know, not a single hair, just super waxy, and a tomentose, or excuse me, not tomentose, glaucous, waxy and glaucous, and you know, just a nice cuticle. These fucking mosquitoes are really, they're doing all they can to make life, you know, they're like a crazy ex. Okay, there you go. Get a nice money shot of those flowers. Let's see what the calyx looks like. Okay, see, there's one. The petals already fell off on that one. There's the calyx right there. Anyway, there you go, Hybertia, a monster. There we go. So now up on top of the ridge, mosquitoes have actually tapered off a little bit. But now I feel like I might pass out. Got a little headache. Actually, a rather big headache. But you can see there's just Araucarias all nestled on this other side of the ridge opposite the ocean. You know, and it is pretty dry. Normally there's a little bit more moisture, more fog, and a lot more rain, but it's been a dry couple months here in New Caledonia. You can see the flat-topped ones are Araucaria humboldtensis, and you also got Araucaria laubenfelsii up here. Okay, so coming down the steep slope, the mosquitoes are back. You're almost breaking my ass. You can see here's a seedling of Araucaria right here. Again, just a Jurassic age lineage of conifers. There's a little bit older of one. There's that pseudo-lycopodium again. Make sure I'm just not breaking. Oh, what's that? Looks like a, what is it? Ecmopoli? Looks like that could be an ecmopoli. Another podocarp. Look at those bright white stomata lines. And there's a grandpappy right there. You can see just, again, with that notorious candelabra shape, there's actually some pretty good regeneration here. You know, these are relatives of those, they call them Norfolk Island pines, but they're not true pines. You know, they sell them at the Walgreens on Christmas time in a little pot with the red tinfoil around them. Same genus, different species. Believe this is Ericaceae laubenfelsii. Oh yeah, there's another one down there. Just growing on a steep slope. Again, moisture content here is normally rather excessive. You know, we're talking upwards of 2 meters. You know, that'd be 6.6 feet. For anybody not familiar with the metric system. Geez, you almost can't see because they get the... All right, let's take a little closer. So there's more of that ecmopoli. Again, with those white stomatal bands. Actually, these don't got them too well. Oh, yeah, you got them right there. Podocarpaceae. White stomatal bands on the underside. Just looks like a U, you know, but it's actually, you know, pretty rare conifer. It's ecmopoli pancheri. You can see you got Araucaria seedlings. They look like little lycophytes. You know, you got them all over the ground. So competition is pretty fierce here. Competition's pretty fierce in a forest thunderstorm. You got all kinds of, you know, but it doesn't get, nothing gets too tall. Somehow it still works out. They get ample rain. So I guess these little guys just kind of grow, hang in there, do their thing, and you know, eventually exploit openings when they come out, and then you get a massive fucker like this guy right there. But then there's that foliage, just looking like it's made out of plastic. This is such a weird lineage of trees. You know, monkey puzzles, horrible common name, but that's what they're called, or that's what most people know them as. I don't call them that. Are in his family, you know, entirely southern hemisphere. The whole genus is entirely southern hemisphere, and again left over from the Jurassic. I think it's hypothesized that all the logs in Petrified Forest National Park are an ancient relative of this guy, of these Araucarias. Look at the bark on this guy. So here we are at the base of that massive Araucaria, looking up at that candelabra shape, notorious candelabra shape of those branches. Got some more over there. So you get laubenfelsii and humboldtensis growing there. I can't see the foliage on this. I think it's laubenfelsii. but I can't see the foliage on it, you know. You can see. Yeah, I think it's laubenfelsii. But and then you get the falcatifolium, another weird conifer, another weird podocarp. You know, probably called falcatifolium because the foliage looks falcate. It's better than naming it after a person. May not be that creative, but you know, gets the job done. Parallel venation on those leaves. Thick epicuticular wax. It's got some nice wax on there. You know. This is a beautiful plant too. And you get another podocarp that actually parasitizes this. The world's only parasitic conifer. It's like a little pink bastard. It gets about 8 or 9 feet tall, called Parasites, which hopefully we can get to. But you know, access can be hard. I mean, it's fuck. What I just did was hard. And you know, to get up to where Parasites grows, it's a lot of hiking in the heat, and it's kind of a shitty year, but we'll see. Anyway, there you go. Standing at the base of a beautiful Araucaria. There's a nice orchid, possibly an Ericaceae. You can see there's just seedlings everywhere. Araucaria seedlings everywhere. Real nice falcatifolium right there. You know, but it's mostly, the falcatifolium is mostly an understory tree, as you can see. There's a nice one down there. Look at that new growth. Look at the new growth on this. And that falcatifolium. Nice red pigments, you know. Again, protecting that, because it's still soft. You know, it didn't get all leathery yet. You know, like people. You know, when they're soft, you got to protect them a little bit before they get all hardened by life and leathery. You know, get a little, maybe not jaded, but just, you know, just come to expect less. Isn't that depressing? Anyway. A nice opening in a canopy. Jesus Christ. Oh, what happened? What do we got over there? Oh, there you go. Certainly seems like laubenfelsii. The humboldtensis get flat tops. So they look real weird. They got almost no growth on the bottom. And they got, you know, flat, they're flat up top. Nice little opening in the canopy. Oh, Ecmopoli. Yeah, see those white stomatal wax. Is this just the new foliage or dead? I don't know, I'm not a fern guy. Got a Podocarpaceae over there, seems like. Oh, I hear the mosquitoes again. What a bummer. Nice Elaphoglossum, the tongue ferns. Also feels like plastic. Last time I saw this, I was in a somewhat cartel-infested area in a Oaxacan cloud forest. But, of course, it was a different species. But Elaphoglossums are great. You could see they're just growing straight out the mossy moss. Do you like moss? How about the word moss when it's emitted through the nasally cavity of a Midwesterner? Mass? Mass? Anyway, Elaphoglossum. Real pretty one, too. Let me see if I can't find any spores. Any sporangia. Well, anyway, there's a fruit on that falcatifolium. And there's a rather large falcatifolium right there. See, they can get upwards of, you know, 20 or 30 feet. It'd be a rather large tree. And again, regeneration's good here. They get ample moisture. Just look at a trunk just covered in moss. With some scandum bastard going up it, apparently. There's no prying that loose. The moss is gone. Anyway, here's an Araucaria. You can see it's growing all spindly. Looks like it's dying in neglect in somebody's living room, but it's not that. It's holding tough. It's surviving. So it just kind of hangs in there, you know, not looking too good. Obviously not getting enough light. And then once an opening in the canopy opens up, it just exploits it and takes off. But, you know, and you'll see the same thing with Araucaria heterophylla, the Norfolk Island pine. That's the one they sell in Walgreens at Christmas time. Actually, maybe the Home Depot. They probably got some at the Home Depot at Christmas time wrapped in a little plastic pot with some red tinfoil or some corny shit around it. Anyway, you know, you'll see people will have those for years without killing them. They'll look all spindly just like this. It doesn't look like a healthy tree, but they hang tough. They do their thing. And then, you know, if you were to go plant one of those, like say your aunt's got one dying in her living room, you know, or in her little patio area. You were to go plant that in the ground, you know, in an area where it would survive outside, and it'd take off. You know, they can get massive. Many of these Ericaceae can turn into massive trees. We're talking 2 or 3 feet diameter breast height. Anyway, there you go. And that might be the thing that's enabled them to have made it from the Jurassic to the present day. Is this ability to just kind of hang in there, hang tough, and, you know, go from a little spindly sapling, you know, hang in that stage for years and then just exploit it once the canopy opens up. They get more light. I got some interesting things going on mycologically. Ooh, it's puffy. He's real puffy. Feels like foam. Look at what he's got on that cap. Very odd sculpture there to that cap. And you got this guy too. Looks like a little guild. I always wonder, first thing I always wonder when I'm looking at mushrooms, and I don't know much about them, is are they mycorrhizal or just saprotrophic? That is, are they symbiotic with the trees and with the shit around, or are they just eating the decaying plant matter on the ground? Nice tree fern. Here's that the Podocarpaceae species, and with the beautiful, beautiful bark. Of course, there's that foliage. And a large one. Whole forest is just sloping, and then you got a massive Araucaria right there. Who knows how old that guy is? A few hundred years at least, I'd assume. His progeny's coming up all over, you know. Got a little guy there. Where that Falciparum. Nice healthy forest. That was nice. Anyway, back uphill, trying to find some semblance of the trail. Sweating like hell, sweating like a whore in church. Here we go. Carriers. Now you can see where I was down there. You know, basically, you know, the trail has just been going up a succession of branches of, where, I mean, I think the actual base rock is probably, you know, 100 feet below me, and this is just layer upon layer of detritus and dead trees. Look at this beautiful fern. It's a nice color. It looks bright blue, glaucous. Mosquitoes have disappeared as well. You know, extremely wet forest. Pacific Ocean way out there. These nice Dracena looking things just hanging off. There's tree ferns. Yeah, the ground feels spongy. You know, this is all just layer upon layer of dead trees, decomposing plant material, etc. And it's actually cool. It's actually pretty cool and nice up here. Look at the trichomes on those goddamn leaf stalks. Holy shit. Yeah, these are all just Dracophyllums right here, Ericaceae. You know, but they're really fucking large ones. Not sure if it's a different species or if that's just due to the amount of moisture. You go about a 4-foot tall orchid. It looks like 2 beetles banging in it. Look at how velvety that is too. It's so tomentose, so fuzzy. And then of course you can see the scars from nickel mining. I think that's about the only economy here, aside from tourism. Here's Dracophyllum. Okay, here we are back on the McKee, and you know, I don't think there's any way this could have ended nicely. I don't think this could have ended too nice. It looks like somebody probably died, you know, when this hit. I think it's a World War II era craft. You see, it's got oh, look, somebody was trying to carve into it, get crafting with this shit. You look at those rivets. They don't make them like that anymore. So back on the McKee, back on the sun exposure. That fern that just will tear your ass right up is going strong. Got the Dracophyllum. Looks like you even got some Metrosideros down there. So we went up, came back down the other side. Trichonopterus linearis. That guy right there, that fern. But, all right, well, let's keep moving along. You know, the ample sheet metal, if anybody needs any, you know, you get some of the scrappers that by my house, you know, live in RVs. Get them out here, just, they clean this up in about a day and a half, not even. Look up there, you got the canopy, nice, okay, we're back in the mossy forest. Okay, and then come down, look down here, look at this big yellow gumdrop. Echedia austrocaledonica, Balanophoraceae. It's a parasite, if you can't guess. There's no chlorophyll in there, of course. You get up close, look at those flowers. Just what appear to be rudimentary leaves, just rudimentary bracts, and a series of stamens. They're just coming up among the moss. And then over here, you can see you got a couple of old ones, old flowers gone to seed. Those bracts have turned purple. So Balanophoraceae, they tend to be root parasites, mostly tropical. You got quite a few down there. Oh, look, the bugs are getting at it. Just look, it looks like a fungus. It looks just like a fungus, but in fact, it's tapped into the root of this tree. They're just stealing a little bit of carbohydrates and moisture. You know, obviously not causing too much damage, just doing its thing. Just a little bit of forced sharing. But very conspicuous on the forest floor. There we go. But look, I believe we have a pollinator. It's like some sort of little flying ant. Very odd flower structure, though. So the whole thing, the whole cone is just one big inflorescence. And then these tiny flowers. Yeah, I wonder if this plant has even been videographed before. I don't know. You know, in the middle of fucking nowhere. But maybe, who knows? Anyway, Balanophoraceae, again, is a family. There you go. Anyway, there's one of those little Hyledia flowers pulled right out. Looks very odd. Don't know what exactly is going on here. But it's just one of those little stocks. There's a whole mass of them. You know, I didn't destroy the inflorescence. I just took one out. Just to give it a nice one. So for the purposes of science, should anybody be studying this in the future. And you get up in there, it actually smells pretty sweet. It doesn't, it looks like it would stink, but it doesn't. Anyway, another weird plant of New Caledonia. An obligate parasite. Hollow parasite, not a hemiparasite. No chlorophyll. Okay, so this was interesting. We got a bolete coming right off the stem. Just found it popping up right next to one of those roots right there. It's pretty interesting. You know, that's mycorrhizal. I don't know what the shit this is, but it is pretty cool looking, huh? It looks like some sort of, obviously it's some sort of fungus. Oh, okay. Is it perhaps an ascomycete? It appears to have a stalk, so maybe it's a bacillus. I don't know, but that is a brilliant blue color. I'm going to try not to destroy it. Looks like a saprotroph, being that it's occurring on something dead. Look at that color, though. That is really, that's really something. Just the most beautiful blue. Oh, that's a nice conch. Wonder if it's even a Ganoderma. Look at this guy. Look at that mite. It's like it's kind of freaky, huh? Okay, maybe it puts like a scabies mite to shame. Hopefully he just eats plants. I really got to just take like a base, just like a crash course in entomology. More Araucaria seedlings everywhere. I don't know if this is Cyathea or what. Oh yeah, there you go. There they are. Old grandpa trees. It must be humboldtensis. Okay, this is pretty interesting. Here's an orchid that doesn't have any leaves. You can see it's got a little flower bud there. It just has photosynthetic roots. Those are just roots. A little bit of velamen. It's just epiphytic on this branch right here. There's another one. No leaves, just completely does all its work through its roots, moisture, photosynthesizing, and then be really curious to see what that little the flower looks like when it comes out. Okay, so here we are back at the base of these massive Araucarias. Over there you got the Araucaria laubenfelsii, which is this branch on the left, and the branch on the right is Araucaria humboldtensis, and it's that peeling bark right there. And while he's up here, he's doing work, trying to figure out what's causing this leaking resin, these resin blisters on the humboldtensis. Laubenfelsii doesn't get it, the humboldtensis does, so he's going to take it back, do some genetic work. But you know, it could be abiotic, it could be fungal. He doesn't know, but either way, they seem to be the species seems to be declining a little bit. The humboldtensis does, and we're already, you know, nearly at the top of this ridge, so they can't go much higher. They obviously have to go higher where it's a little bit cooler to get a little bit more moisture, and they're already at the top over there. So laubenfelsii seems like it's doing fine. It's a much larger tree, but this humboldtensis is really. And there's fewer humboldtensis too. I think there's like less than a dozen up there. You know, plenty of seedlings, but so who knows? But you know, again, it's pretty dry right now, and it should be. You know, we should be moist, completely wet. Ground should be wet. Ground's pretty dry too. It's pretty weird. Another podocarp. Again, notice how dry that foliage is. Dracophyllum cantonii. That's a big guy. Look at that. There's up close to the foliage right there. The cone is like a little, yeah, it just looks like a little pear-shaped thing. A little pear-shaped arrow. A little pear-shaped looking berry, but it's not a berry. It's obviously a naked seed. A nice terrestrial orchid here. There's the seed pod of fruits. I don't know if that's seed or what, but their seeds, of course, are tiny, but look at all that fluff. Pretty weird infructescence, though. And then over here you got Necipterus, relative of the whisk ferns, Psilotum. Psilotum, you could see a bunch right there. Again, it is really dry here, though. Kind of feels like plastic, you know. Talk about an old lineage here. This is, you know, going back 350 million. 400 million years. You know, one of the few still extant. We get Psilotum, the whisk ferns, coming up as weeds in the greenhouses over there at Berkeley all the time. Anyway, there's another member of the family. Okay, this is a beaut. Look at this. Look at these big ass leaves. Okay, parallel venation. Looks like an orchid. Is an orchid. Some species in the genus Megastylus. You can see a few of them have been pollinated already. The ovaries are swelling right there. I wonder what pollinates these. And I wonder what the pollination syndrome is. You know, if it's deceptive or if there's actually a nectar reward. It doesn't smell too pungent or anything, so I don't know if there's a nectar reward. Might just be some dupage going on. That labellum is hinged. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's probably deceptive. But that's, I mean, it's a It's a 6-foot tall inflorescence right there. Fucking massive. Look, there's another one. That guy's not flowering this year though. Just another weird ass plant in New Caledonia.